Yo, what's good? Shalom, Kaz the MC. Just dropping this one about why I believe in the Bible. I had a lot of big plans for this video and never got the time to put it forward in a documentary form. So I thought I'd just break it down like this and hopefully you can follow me. So I didn't grow up in the Christian church. I didn't grow up with the Bible. I rejected the Bible on account of it being a book that was brought to us in slavery, right? My people went through slavery, and when slavery was coming to an end, the same people who enslaved us came round with the Bible. It was there the whole time, but they came round again and they put Christianity on us, and they wanted all the slaves who had just been freed to become Christians and join the Christian church, right? Why? It's brainwashing, you understand? To hide the truth of the Bible, they wanted to teach us, right? So we can't see ourselves in it, so we don't see the true retribution that is meant to come to the people who did wickedness to us. They didn't want us to see that. So to pacify us, right, they gave us an off-balance understanding of the Bible. Yes, it's about love. Yes, it's about peace. But it's also about the truth. It's also about who we are as a people. It's also about our nation. It's also about justice, you understand? And I never understood these things. So just to break down why I believe in the Bible, the first reason I believe in the Bible is because of the prophecies found within it. So if we look at Revelation 19:10, it says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus." Right? Worship God, for the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. So how can we know that a prophet's words are true? If the prophecy comes to pass, you understand? And if there's consistent prophecies coming to pass, that gives a big piece of evidence right there that this book might be true. So when I myself read, we won't go too deep into this, but just Deuteronomy. So these be the words Moses spake unto all Israel, right? So this is Moses speaking to Israel. And we look at Deuteronomy. In Deuteronomy, it outlines what curses Israel will go to if they don't keep the commandments of the Most High, right? If they're not obedient to the Most High. So who went through these curses, and did these curses come to pass? Can we see this happening in the earth after these curses were promised to happen? It says, actually, let's just go to 15 real quick. "It shall come to pass that if I will not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God to do all," don't know why it's not lighting up, but "to do all his commandments and his statutes which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." So I just want to get to some key curses here. You can read this book for yourself. Let's go down to here. Okay, so here are some curses. "Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity." Right? "Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity." Now, this happened to people on the earth. There's different races of people who went into captivity and had their children sold, right? But that happened to my people. What else? "The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low." Now, anywhere you go on this earth, my people are in the lower state. You understand? Whether it's America, England, France, Australia, our own countries, the Caribbean, West Africa, South America, my people, the people of us who went through the curses of slavery, right? We are in a lowest condition in the ghettos, right? We make up the urban and street culture, you understand? We're in the rough areas, right? When we came out of Egypt, the stranger that is within thee refers to a mixed multitude of people who was leaving Egypt with the Israelites, right? But this, as we read in Deuteronomy chapter 1, is for the Israelites. So this is directed and addressed to the Israelites. So the stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. "He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail." Does the English government, do the American government come to any of our countries, to any of our people, to borrow from us, to borrow money, to get debt relief or to for any kind of lending. No, they don't. If you want to get a car loan, if you want to get a loan from a business loan, if a country, if Nigeria wants to get a loan, like that's a country where they want to, loads of African countries have the debt because they borrowed money from the West. You understand? They will be the head on the earth, and we shall be the tail if we don't listen. It says here. Let's go down. And moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes. Right? My people are destroyed. I can show you footage of how we act and how we hate each other and destroy ourselves. It says here, because thou serves not the Lord thy God with joyfulness. Sorry about this, how this is highlighting thing is going, because the last website I used was a lot easier. But because thou served not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things, therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Now, right now, if you want to get a drink, if you want some water, if you want to eat some food, if you want some clothes, you have to go to your enemy. You understand? Especially in these countries. I'm in England. We've got brothers and sisters in America. You understand? If you want to work, you have to go to your enemy. If you want to, the food comes from the farms which they own. You understand? We don't own the means or the resources. And the main bit in this verse here, which really lets you know, is talking about my people, the Afro-Caribbeans, the African Americans, the so-called African Americans and Afro-Caribbeans, the Afro-Latins, the diaspora scattered throughout the earth, who originated in, I don't say originated, but who were taken from West Africa, you understand, and scattered through the slave trade thing. He says, he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee, right? Now, that was a big tactic that was used to keep us oppressed. We literally had the yoke of iron on our neck. That happened to my people, right? He said, if we didn't listen to the Most High God, our children will be sold to our enemies. We will go into slavery, right? And we'll have a yoke of iron put upon our neck. You can see this on the screen right now. Yokes of iron. If this is common knowledge, you understand? That yokes of iron were literally put on our necks until we were destroyed. And they only took the yokes of iron off once we were so... if you put a dog on a stick, on a leash, and you don't let it go any further, eventually when you take that and you raise up that dog like that, when you take that leash off a dog, it's not going to go any further because it's already got a mental barrier, you understand? And here we got a sister, who an image of a sister who was a slave with a yoke of iron on her neck. Research it for yourself. It is well known that we literally had yokes of iron put on our neck in slavery, so we couldn't run away. And when they took the yoke of iron off, we still didn't run away, or as a nation. It says here, this is a big one, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, as from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favour to the young, right? The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, right? As swift as the eagle flieth. Now, what is the national symbol? What animal is the national symbol of America? USA, I don't know what's the word, national symbol or animal, I'm not sure what it's called. Different nations have an animal that represent them, and the American one is the bald eagle, right? It's on the dollar bill. Patriotic Americans always got an eagle with their flag. Like, an eagle is a big symbol of America. Yeah, it's a national symbol. Yeah, this is common knowledge. So, national animals of the world, you've got the Russian bear and the American eagle, you understand? You see right there in the middle. So, for example, different nations have different animals. America's one is the eagle. Yeah. So, which nation did we go into captivity under? Yeah, when the people came, yes, it was Britain originally. Yes, it was Dutch and Dutch people, and so on and so forth. But the eagle, and that is the most dominant nation of today, America, who still has our people in subjection. And on you see on the dollar bill, the eagle. You understand? This is the most powerful money on the earth. Like, this is the national currency of the world banks and all them kind of things there. You see it there, the eagle on the dollar bill, right? a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favour to the young. You just have to do basic knowledge and research on slavery and know that they fed our children to crocodiles while the mothers watched. That they'll put our young babies on a riverside and make bets while crocodiles will come out of the river and eat them and make us watch. You understand? And breaking up families, selling children to a plantation 100 miles away. You're never going to see your children again, right? So let's go down for some more, right? And if you feel that any of these curses that, oh, well, Chinese people went through that, oh well, white people went through that. Nobody went through all these curses that's listed here but my people, right? I understand. And the point of this video is to say that it was prophesized that this would happen to my people, and it did. I've already proven, I believe, or I can prove that the people of the book are dark-skinned people. You understand? And now the dark-skinned people who went through these curses are my people, and it is proof that the scriptures are real. It says here, let's go down to a big one. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from one end of the earth to the other, and there shalt thou serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So the Lord shall scatter thee among all people. In the slave trade, where did we go? What happened to us? We were scattered throughout the earth. We were scattered and dispersed. And even before slavery, we had already started to be scattered. But just a quick search. This is just basics. Look at all the places we were taken to. Europe, South America, the Caribbean, North America. We were even, it's not shown in this picture, we were even taken to India, to China. You understand? To different places around the world. This is a big part of the scattering of my people. You got people who immigrated by choice, but we were scattered by force. You understand? It wasn't a choice, we were scattered. So where were we? And thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thy father has known, even wood and stone. And when we got to these places, what religions were put on us? What religions do you see in our people now? What are the prevalent religions? You got Christianity is the big one, yeah, keeping our people brainwashed and placid and away from the truth and their true identity. And then you have that's the wood, and then you have the stone, the Kaaba stone, the Islam, the Nation of Islam. My family brought me up in Nation of Islam. You understand? We'll get onto the Islam thing more, but we were scattered, right? And we worship other gods, even wood and stone. So many of my people were into Islam and into Christianity. And among these nations shall thou find no ease, neither to the sole of thy foot have any rest. Among the nations that have no ease, no rest. You understand? With a trembling heart, failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind. Yeah, so our people are so mentally messed up and depressed. You know, we're getting killed by the police, we're killed by our own people, getting killed by random racists who want to shoot up churches, getting killed by drugs. We're always in the bottom. Listen to hip hop and grime music and hear about if we got any ease or rest in our ends, right? And let's get to the big one. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Right? The Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. We went into slavery with ships. The word Egypt, right? Oops. Alright, cool. The word Egypt means bondage, yeah, it's synonymous with bondage. Here we go, Exodus 13. Remember this day in which he came out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage, right? If you see it there, Exodus 13 and 14. By the strength of the hand of the Lord brought us out from Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Exodus 20 and 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. And there's more and there's more and there's more. Yeah, Egypt is synonymous with bondage in the Bible, and I believe the word Egypt means slavery or bondage in Greek. You can check that, I'm not 100% sure. So we shall go into bondage, that thou shalt bring to Egypt again with ships. You should go into slavery, into bondage again with ships. And that's why the scriptures, that's why I believe in it. It's the only thing that explains what is going on in this world today. Because I showed you the dollar bill. This is why all these Illuminati secret societies, that's the secret they're keeping. You understand that we are the children of the Bible. The so-called black people are the Israelites. That the people who put us into slavery are not, and they're going to receive justice. They're going to be utterly destroyed, and they want to keep us from the truth so they can continue their reign on this earth for as long as possible. We should go into Egypt again with ships. That's why all these Freemason Illuminati symbols are Egyptian symbols. We're still in Egypt. We're still in bondage. Boom, bam. That's what it is. By the way whereof I spake unto thee. So how I said it's going to happen is how it's going to happen. Thou shalt see it no more again, meaning we're not going to see our homeland again, right? And there you shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen. So when we got to this place, we were sold, like we were literally sold. We were not given away. We were not just taken and held captive. We were sold like cattle, you understand, for slave men and slave women. And where it says no man shall buy you, like that can be confusing, but you buy people out of captivity, especially in the olden days. If you wanted to free someone, if a slave wanted, slave wanted to free themselves, they will buy themselves out. They would, if you see someone and he's got a cruel master and he sees a servant or a slave, you pay for that person to be set free or pay for them to be released from their captivity, right? That's a tradition. So no man shall buy you. It says you shall be sold to your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, right? So, boom, big prophecy right there. The Bible also says, that's my connection going in a bit slow, but this is another prophecy of the Bible. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. So we shall discontinue from our heritage, you understand, that I gave thee, right? And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. So we'd already talked about the serving enemies, but discontinuing from our heritage, you understand? That is why my people are the only people on the earth who have surnames of a different nation. I was born with one surname, right? And then my mom converted to Islam, and she was right and wrong. She said, we got to change your surname because that's a slave name, that's a white man name. And she's right. My name was a white man's name who was a slave master who had my great-grandparents in slavery. My great-great-grandparents in slavery, you understand? But what happened is, and what a lot of my people did is, because we discontinued from our heritage, we then went to Islam, some Arab thing, and then I had an Arab name, right? Then I was given an Arab surname and an Arab name, right? And that's not my heritage. I'm not an Arab. So in order to seek the Most High, I don't have to have an Arab name. So my people lost our heritage, and that's why we got so many black people talking about we're Moors. Oh, I'm an Aboriginal. Oh, I'm Asiatic. I'm the Asiatic black man. Oh, I'm a God on earth. I'm yes, peace God. You know what I'm saying? A nation of 5%ers. You got people talking about we're Muslim, right? People talking about no, I'm American, man. I'm African American. I'm Black British. Yeah. No, I'm Caribbean. I'm Caribbean. Right. Well, how did we become Caribbean? How did if you go back to the origin of my family's history in Barbados, how did we become Bayesian? Right. How? Through slavery. Our origin is as slaves there, but we weren't. Our origin as a people is not slavery. You understand? So we discontinue from our heritage, and that happened to my people. We're the only people on earth who right now, the Chinese man has his Chinese surname, the Irish man has his Irish surname, the Italian man has the Italian surname, but my people, you got a dark-skinned black man whose surname is Smith. You understand? So if we go into the book of Isaiah chapter 43, it says, thy first father have sinned, and thy teachers have transgressed against me. Therefore I profaned the princes of a sanctuary, and given Jacob to the curse, and Israel to the reproaches. Yet now hear, O Jacob my servant, and Israel whom I have chosen, thus saith the Lord that made thee. Right? For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed, and my blessing upon thine offspring. And they shall spring up among the grass, as willows by the water's courses. One shall say, I am the Lord, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob. And another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and shall surname himself by the name of Israel. Right? That is a big thing in my people's recent history, us changing our surnames to some Arab surname. And Muhammad Ali, right, was Cassius Clay, and he changed it to Muhammad Ali. So he's trying to find his He's not happy with his identity, right? He's not happy with his heritage. Oh, my surname is Clay, and my slave master's name. So I'm going to change it to Muhammad now. Muhammad, a nation who also had us in slavery. You understand? So we are the people who need to surname ourselves by the name of Israel, and you can see this prophecy coming to pass right now as we are waking up to who we really are and proving who we are out of the book, right? We're proving who we are. We're surnaming ourselves by the name of Israel. This prophecy is coming to pass before your very eyes. The second reason that I believe in the Bible is because it is undefeated against the other texts and doctrines. When I first came into knowing about the Bible from an Israelite perspective, the truth of the Bible, I tested it. So when I'll see people in the street, Muslims, Christians, I would debate them, right? And I was very new into the truth. And these people who had been, there was a pastor who had been in the truth in the church for 45 plus years, and he had never heard of Romans 9:13 and had no answer for it. And so I said about my family's history and going into Islam, right? So when we compare Islam to the Bible and we're looking for the truth, it is very easy to see that the Bible is the truth and the Quran is absolutely not. Now, I don't want anyone to get offended. I have brothers, I have family, and probably viewers in this channel who are Muslim, right? But the truth don't care about how you feel, you understand? And how you feel doesn't determine the truth. So, does the Quran come from the Bible, or does the Bible come from the Quran? The Quran comes from the Bible, right? If we read the Quran, let's go to my screenshots. So if we read the Quran, it says here, this is in the Quran, right? Surah 2, or whatever the book is called, Al-Baqarah, yeah? This is the second book of the Quran. It says, O children of Israel, remember my favors upon you. Fulfill your covenant and I will fulfill mine, and stand in awe of me alone. Believe in my revelations which confirm your scriptures. Okay, so O children of Israel, remember my favors upon you. This is supposed to be Allah talking, the God of the Quran. And he says, remember my favors upon you, the children of Israel. Right? So this is supposed to be the same God. The God of the Quran is supposed to be the same God of the Bible. Right? It is not meant to be, in the Quran perspective, a separate God. This is meant to be the same God who spoke to the Israelites in the Bible is now saying this Quran thing, right? And it says here, believe in my revelations which confirm your scriptures. So the Quran confirms the Bible. Right, but the Bible doesn't confirm the Quran. It prophesies many things, but never prophesies the Quran. You understand? It says here, say, O believers, we believe in Allah and what has been revealed to us, and what was revealed to Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, and Jacob and his descendants, and what was given to Moses, Jesus, and other prophets from their Lord. We make no distinction between any of them, and to Allah, yeah. So it says here, I can't highlight it because it's a screenshot, but we believe in Allah and what has been revealed to us and what was revealed to Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, and Jacob and his descendants, and Moses and Jesus and the other prophets, right? So the Quran is built off of the back of my people, the Israelites, right? The same way America and the West was, yeah? And so the Quranic perspective is that they have to believe in the books of Moses, believe in the Torah, believe in the words of the prophets, believe in Christ. Even though most Muslims don't walk around professing Christ, yeah, that's what the book Quran commands them to do. So how can we evaluate whether this is real scripture? Because, okay, so there was the book of Obadiah, there's the book of Zechariah, then there's the book of Matthew, there's the book of Mark, there's the book of Luke, there's Revelation, right? So what? So is this just another book now that's written in Arabic, where all of the prophets in the Bible were Israelites, and now we have a Ishmaelite Arab all of a sudden who's a new prophet? That doesn't make sense. But a real killer, just to kill it off, shut it down right now, is that the Quran, the God of the Quran, tells you to go against what the God of the Bible told you to do. You understand? So a simple example is, let me just see where we're at right now. A simple example is, the God of the Bible in the law commands us that ye shall make no idols, nor graven image, neither rear you up a standing image. Neither shall you set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it, for I am the Lord your God. Right? Neither shall you set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it. Muslims will say that the Kaaba is not an idol and they don't worship it, right? Be that as it may, which they do worship it, but neither shall you set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it. That's what the Bible says. Remember that Muslims are supposed to believe in this. This is the book of Moses. And they're commanded to believe in this, right? So, what do the Muslims do? What is a fundamental pillar of Islam? A fundamental pillar of Islam is that you have to bow towards the Kaaba. Even whatever country you pray in, whether you're in Egypt, England, or Canada, you have to bow in the direction of this stone. And every Muslim is expected to go to Mecca and bow to this stone. So I'm just going to leave it there. I could go in depth on Islam, as I was actually brought up on Islam up until the age of like 14, right? And I know that you are directed to bow down to this stone. And the Bible tells you, yeah, do not bow down, may set up any stone and bow down to it. And look, millions of Muslims bow down to the stone. It's part of the religion. It's in the Quran. So we'll leave that one there. Furthermore, Christianity. Now, I touched on how Christianity was brought to us in slavery. Christians don't know. Okay, let me not say Christians like that. The vast majority of Christians do not know the first thing about the Bible. They only know what the pastor tells them in church, right? And a big proof of this is Christmas. I didn't get this one ready, but Christmas, right? Christians celebrate Christmas. You can't tell them about no Christmas. It's about Jesus. It's about his birthday, right? So Jeremiah 10. So if I'm not into no religion, no Christianity, right? But I'm into the Bible. So Christians say that they follow the Bible, say they're into the truth. They put people off the Bible, because when you read this, hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. They deck it with silver and gold, and fasten it with nails and hammers, that it move not. Which pagan celebration tells you to cut down a tree, bring it into your house, and cover it and deck it with silver and gold? I can prove to you, but it should be basic knowledge that Christmas is a pagan holiday, that people were celebrating Christmas on the same day, in the same way, before they even worshipped Christ, before Christ was even born. Way back in ancient Egypt, way back in Babylon, they were celebrating Christmas, right? This pagan celebration. You can't tell a Christian that. We'll just leave it there, because we're going to try and get through this quickly. But the Bible tells you not to go into the way of the heathen. It says, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. Now take this to even Easter, right? This verse here literally is directly talking about Christmas. So you can go and take this to a pastor, and they either never heard of it, act like they never heard of it, won't subscribe to it, or say Christ came to change all of that, or he came to fulfill that. I don't even understand what that means, to fulfill that. It says not to learn the way of the heathen. Well, Christ came to fulfill that, so now we can. It doesn't make sense. When Christians are debated with any learned Hebrew Israelite, it's very embarrassing for the Christian. You understand? Because they follow a doctrine that was taught to them in slavery, so they can be pagans, so they can still sin. You understand? And that brings me to my next point. And I didn't plan this one very well, so probably just have to, freestyle it a bit. But that the lies of this world, the secrets of this world, are all to keep us in sin, and are all to keep us away from the truth of the Bible. The pyramid with the eye, Egyptian symbols, there, we're still in slavery. They're not gonna tell us that we are the Israelites. They're gonna tell us everything else. You can be anything else but an Israelite. They're not going to tell you that. You understand? I've already broken it down in multiple videos about this satanic music industry, and I've just broken it down here that we're still in Egypt, and that's why they're throwing up these things. This 3-6 symbol right here, they're showing you that they're leading us to sin, right? They're leading us in the way of the beast. And one of the videos that I really want to drop soon is going to be called, I'm going to burn down NASA. You understand? NASA was founded by Satanists. You understand? NASA was founded by Satanists. The lies of this world, if I spoke about Christianity and Islam, science is the new religion of this world. And these people believe in 100 different animations they've seen of black holes that they have never witnessed with their eyes, that they can never prove. You understand? They believe in black holes and the multiverse and all this kind of thing, right? I'm gonna get into it a bit on a major level, but the moon landing, 100% fake. 100% fake. They changed it. They show you animations and drawings, and now the multiverse is the new theory, right? If we're gonna research Operation Paperclip, that's probably what I'm gonna do. That's one of my first videos. Research Jack Parsons, right? And Jack Parsons was one of the founding rocket scientists of NASA. He tried to summon Satan in his house. He literally is known. He was a known Satanist. And the word NASA, I believe, means deceit in Hebrew. And the moon landing was fake, right? And the Bible says there is a firmament over the earth, and there's waters above the earth. And that's why space and underwater is exactly the same thing. Like what do they say about space? You float, right? You float underwater. What do they say about space? You can't breathe. You need a breathing apparatus. You need a breathing apparatus underwater. In space, right? Things twinkle. The lights in space twinkle in the sky. Sorry. Well, underwater, if you have any kind of light, it shimmers. Any light source underwater will shimmer with the movement of the waves. When NASA sets their rockets off, they never go straight up. They always go up and into an angle. NASA can never send a rocket straight up in the sky because they'll hit the firmament. There's even videos of some Tesla rockets scraping up against the firmament, and you can see all the waves basically. And it's like, wow, what's this crazy energy? It's the firmament, mate. And that's why we need to research Operation Paperclip. Sorry, not Paperclip. Operation Fishbowl, which is when they allegedly discovered the radiation rings around the Earth by shooting up radiated missiles. They went to Antarctica to shoot up nuclear bombs up into space to see if there's radiation there. Well, if space was real, you basically made the radiation, mate. You shot radiation up there and they said, yo, look, there's radiation. But really what happened is they went to the Antarctica so they could be closer to the edge of the firmament, and they tried to blow a hole in it. And they realized they couldn't, and that's why the Van Allen belt is their scientific theory to say why we can't leave the Earth. And then the final reason I believe in the Bible is because the enemy really believes in it as well. Like these people out here, these Satanists out here, really believe in what they're doing, and they really trying to push it on us. You know what I'm saying? They really are Satanists. They really believe in Satan. They really believe the Bible too. They want to cause us to fall and stumble so we don't receive salvation, so we don't wake up to our true heritage, and so they don't get destroyed once we're ready. So, boom. I wish I could have done that video better with all the images and the NASA thing. It's just I need to organize my time better to produce quality of videos that I know I can make. I have the information in my head, I have the evidence to show, and it's just I need to get organized. Despite the fact I have 2 children under the age of 3 and a lot on my plate, I really want to bring this out. So look out for that NASA video. When I drop that NASA video, right, it's not about no flat earth. You can call it flat earth or not. I don't believe the earth is flat. Mount Everest and deep ocean trenches will prove you of that. But this space thing from NASA is 100% fake. Yeah, the reality we believe we're existing in is unverifiable, and I'm gonna prove that. And that's further proof of the Bible, because that's the alternative they give us for us to believe in this Big Bang nonsense, right? But the truth is in the Bible, and you can verify that. All right, boom. Kaz the MC, shalom, peace.